So if you guys want, you can go over to YouTube if you want to see the front view versus this side view. And yeah, let me see what Murphy said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, America.
Hello, America.
What's up, America?
Hello, beautiful people.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to have a good show, but let's go ahead and start this thing the right way, how we normally would do.
Yes.
Good morning. Hold on. For podcast sake, make sure I ain't making no noise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello to podcast land, YouTube land, Facebookers, IGzers, and everybodyers.
Oh Lord, she making up another word, Lord.
You gonna let me too?
Yours.
Hello, America. How you guys have been? Before we start, y'all know how we do this every week, once a week or every week. We tell you guys we're gonna be back. The last 2 weeks has just been crazy, but anyway, we are
Brains and Beauty times
2.
I'm Shayla.
And I'm MYAMMEE. And we are back for another episode. This is episode 67. We want to welcome everybody back. I know last week we did not
go live.
Film.
Yeah.
We didn't go live. We didn't just do a podcast. I think right now, a lot of us are just, trying to figure out what's going on with ourselves within America and how we're going to go through this thing of change. But before we jump into the topics for tonight, we want to go ahead and start off with, thanking all our podcast family, our YouTube family, making sure you guys subscribe, making sure you guys comment, making sure you like pages, especially on our podcast. Our podcast, we are on Apple. We are on Spotify. We are on
iHeartradio.
Yep. What else? Google Play,
yes.
We're on Google Play. And when you're listening on the podcast, you guys, if you don't mind, just go ahead and like the podcast page. And also comment on the podcast page as well. And then if you want to come over and find us on YouTube to see the visuals for every podcast. So
every podcast.
Every podcast episode.
Yes.
So but yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into it tonight and get started with the topics and the conversations on what is going on in America. In the current state in America.
So yeah, and we just want to get y'all thoughts on how y'all are feeling. I know again, like we said, we were not here last week. We didn't do a live last week, but we want to hear how y'all are feeling with everything from George Floyd to anything that's going on currently in this country. Y'all let us know how y'all are feeling. Make sure y'all comment. If you're on YouTube Live, you will see your comments on the screen. If you're not on YouTube Live, you may want to go there because that's also where you will be able to see your comments if we choose to display them. So definitely make sure that you go on there if you're not. But let's start. So Angie, how are you feeling, Miss Thang, right now in the current state of our country?
My thoughts right now, and just how I'm feeling. It's a lot. Some days it's a lot, right? It's a lot because we continue to see craziness, which is part of that's been in America, right? It's just about the phones are here. We get to see it all the time, every time, depending on who we're following. We get to see updates on racism all day. You know what I mean? It's up to us to either continue to see that stuff or try to flip it a little bit and add some positivity on advancements of what's been going on. So for me, like I said, it's been half and half. It's been tiring to watch. It's been refreshing to see the change as the days are going.
Yes.
I think every day is a great highlight. We're looking for the updates and seeing what's new today, what has been considering to get passed soon and like all of these things. So I think I'm like half and half. Some days it's just too much, and then some days I'm happy to see what I'm watching on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about you?
How
do you feel in the midst of this?
I'm trying to put it in word. Like I think that everyone pretty much, well, for most of us, feel the same. We're tired of the same old. Yeah. And we're just ready for change. You know, we thought that we were all these years that we've gone through the same kind of thing, and you would think that we would be way further than we are. Not saying that we haven't accomplished a lot, but I also think, you know, there's so much further that we could go. And it's still absurd that in this day and age, 2020, we're still dealing with, you know, foolishness like racism off of skin color, you know, and stuff like that. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. So I think I've been overwhelmed. And I think in the last week, I think when it first kind of happened, I was just like, you know, oh, here we go again. And I was fine because I was just like, okay, whatever we got to do, we just got to be ready. But I think last week, I don't know. I found myself avoiding my Instagram more and not really checking on stuff because it's like I almost feel like you don't want to just hear negativity all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I understand it's our reality, I don't want to hear that 24/7.
No, I get it.
At some point, I'm just like, okay, I hear you. I'm doing what I feel like I should be doing right now, or what I can do right now. To be a part of the movement, but at the same time, I have to know also when, for me, I just need to cut it off, and I'll go back to it tomorrow. You know, that's just how I feel right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm the same. I feel the same way. Like it's hard for me because I feel like I don't want to run away from the reality of what we're facing all over the nation by cutting off the negative. Well, by cutting off and not being a part of spreading the opposite.
Yes.
So I feel like some days I hate to spread the negative, but sometimes I feel like, okay, my duty, just in case somebody has not seen this, man, look at this. But then at the same time, I try to make sure I spin it and be like, man, look at this. Like, look what's going on outside of the negative. Yeah. So again, like I told you before you even, like, I am like literally half and half. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to, not to say it's hard to stay positive, because you can stay positive through any storm you're going through, including this one.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to watch knowing you can't do nothing immediate about it.
Yeah. I think I definitely think that's it. Again, I definitely think that it's not something that you could just turn a blind eye to at all. But at some point you have to guard your spirit and say, okay, I need to refocus and not have that sense of constant negativity or bitterness in my heart. Because I feel like after a while you start to see certain images, you start to get though you should be angry, the anger tends to change into something else internally. And I just don't. I'm trying to, avoid that to happen. I don't want that to happen at all. So I want to always constantly remind myself, what this is about, and to make sure that I focus on what it's about and how we can create the change, and not change the person that I am. I don't want to change who I am and how I treat people. Period. Police officers or whatever. I don't want to become something I'm not proud of.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go to the next topic for tonight. And you guys, we love for y'all to chime in. Tell us how you feel about something. Tell us your opinion. Shout out to Trill Talk TV, just jumped in here tonight. Feezy, Sweet, Juicy Peach. Thank you, girl. And everybody else who's joining in on IG Live. YouTube is coming in. So our next topic for tonight, you guys, and we want to hear your thoughts. So don't forget, we don't want to hear you. Like, we want to hear from you. We'll read it as we can and as we go. So to the next topic for tonight, You want to go with that one, Shay?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about what are your what are your BLM? So Black Lives Matter. We're just going to say BLM. What are your BLM contributions right now? Like, how do you feel like you've participated in the cause, in the movement? What are you currently doing that you feel like you should be doing to contribute? And I guess I'll start with me. I know I definitely
start with you.
Have I've definitely made sure that I've financially started giving to organizations that I feel like are actually trying to create real change and helping people, whether it was bailing people out of getting out of jail for being falsely arrested or for foolishness or whatever it was, like whatever it is, signing petitions, all of that stuff, writing letters, calling, like you have to do these things. You have to. And I feel like it has to be your daily mission to make sure that you're doing something every single day. And so that's basically what I've been trying to do. I think I've been doing more monetarily than anything else. I have not been to a protest yet. I will be honest. I have not been to a protest yet. When I do, I have my protective goggles because I don't know what they got going on with these rubber bullets, but I'm not.
They tripping out there, seriously.
But I'm doing what I feel like I can do currently, and whatever else I plan on doing. So I do plan. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't go to a protest, but I did go to a blackout bike ride, just to bring awareness. This past Saturday.
Okay.
And, with her name on IG is Muscle Mom. She had an event and a lot of people just came out and got on a bike, whether they had their own bikes or whether they rented bikes. I know I rented a bike because I don't have one. And we just rode around Fort Lauderdale beach area. And you know what I noticed, and which is really funny, I feel like when you're in that area, that area is for very well off people, and majority of them are not. They're not this, okay? So a lot of the times when you're walking up and down that street, because I actually work on Las Olas in that street, if you're walking up and down that street, people don't really speak. Not like that. Like if I'm walking and I look you in your eye, they are not gonna good morning, none of that. And my mom, I think, has embedded that in me forever, that you make sure you speak when people look at you. And so that's always bothered me. So I just thought it was refreshing that during this bike ride, doesn't matter what color you were, everybody, good morning. Like
hello,
putting up hello.
Hello.
Whether they were black or white, Black Lives Matter, clapping for, it didn't matter what it was. And it was like, it almost catches you off guard because I'm not used to this. Like, this is not the norm. And it's funny how you can be caught off guard by something that should actually be the norm.
Right.
So it was refreshing to see that. So I do hope that people continue to, however, again, they can contribute to the cause, make sure that you're doing so. But yeah, that's what I've done so far. So what have you done, Boo, so far?
What have I done so far? Of course, trying to support organizations and making sure I get educated on what these organizations are actually doing, right? We can spend the money, we can send the money, but we have to make sure we're gonna move forward. This is for everybody. I want everybody to go to these organizations' pages and see what exactly they are for real doing. Not to say some of them are doing, they all are doing their thing in different ways. But I think the main thing for me right now is to I guess gain myself, is educating myself with what's going to happen here locally in South Florida. And learning from those organizations who are out of town, because they've been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? Even right now, gearing up, literally gearing up for our election time. Trayvon Martin, mom, and I hate, Sabrina. She just got her approval to run for city council, right? So keep in mind, my trying to get ready for these campaigns. We also have a Black woman right now that's down here. She is, dang it. See, I just learned about her too. But another Black woman, she is going to be running for, I forgot what it was. I have to look it up now. I have it on this phone. I can't even get to my dog on Twitter. But anyway, I just got introduced to her. You know what I mean? So just trying to see, honestly, gearing up for campaigns, you know, and I think I love to be a part of the real campaigns locally, because this is where I'm staying at. You know what I mean? Like, this is what's going to happen if somebody is Black and they get shot here by a police officer. We have to be ready to, you know, get ready for our cities. And of course, support those who are out of town. Like, we have to collectively out of town. But I think right now, my main focus, my dominant out of everything has just been getting ready for the campaigns.
So what can you do here?
Yeah, what can I do here? And trying to alert on my own platform the best way I can to try to alert my local mayors and our governors, and trying to get some type of response, and trying to see who else is trying to get their response, and try to get some type of activity going to where we can start getting ourselves together here locally, because we already know what's going on with Miami. Our police, our police have, you know, if for those who don't know, our police systems here, and it's not 100% negative, but Miami is known for corruption, right? Miami police has been known for corruption since the movie Scarface. I mean, let's be for real, right? So if Miami is known for corruption, we already know. If you are from here, we're South Florida, even Fort Lauderdale, you already know how our police is set up. We already know corruption is in. It's just like how Florida got a red state for Trump. Like, it's so much corruption here that it's going to take a lot of work. However, it still doesn't mean we cannot get there. But to answer the question, I'm sorry. My main concern is gearing up for voting, gearing up for our August. You know what I mean? What campaigns am I going to be out here speaking loud on? What campaigns am I going to be supporting on my pages, in person as well, doing the phone calls, getting people together, doing the social media, just like how I did for Andrew Gillum, you know, being a part of that whole entire campaign push. And look what happened to Miami. Like, we won here in South Florida with Andrew. Even though we didn't win the state for him, but we ended up winning here because we went hard. You know what I mean? So I'm getting ready for voting season for us. That's my main concern, to answer the question. So so just trying to, you know, again, we have to teach ourselves. We need to get educated right now and seeing who is about to be on our ballots. And then if those people who are about to be on our ballots, what are y'all going to start doing though? I'll vote for you. What are your plans? These are the plans that we need to do. You know what I mean? This is our focus. What is our budget down here? I just saw the budget for Miami. Not Miami-Dade County, but I saw the budget for City of Miami. Girl, the budget for police versus everything else is a landslide. Like the line was like here for police, and then everything else was like here. It was like this much more for police, and we need that money transfer. I know people are like, what is defunding the police? You want to take some of that money out of there and allocate it in other places, to where other organizations and other things within the city can be funded and be a part of change. You know what I mean? So that's what my mind has just been honestly doing as much as I can as everybody else. And again, I haven't been out there as well, but doing my part on my end is preparing myself for August, getting ready for November, getting my city ready for November. You know what I mean? Letting the city know, like, we got work to do. So
you ain't never lied. Okay,
we do. We got big work.
I hope that we continue, again, the movement continues, and that we don't slow up, we don't let up, because I think a lot of times when you have momentum and then you start to get certain things accomplished, that momentum starts to die out. And I definitely hope that we do not die out, because this is not the time for that. We have to continue on, because we got to get that thing out the White House.
We got work.
We got to get other people out of their positions, because they ain't doing their job.
Yeah, and it's just not the president. You know what I mean?
No, it's not the president at all.
We have seen in 2 weeks that it takes so many other people involved to help run this nation. That we have to make sure we pay attention. And if we're not paying attention, our focus is only on Trump behind. That's not enough. You know what I mean? Because the things that he's not doing locally, things are still getting done without him.
Yep.
You understand what I mean? So locally is really should be the focus for everybody, even though we still have to come collective for the other organizations and other states and cities where people are being mistreated too.
Yeah.
But we just cannot have the blind eye on where you stay and lay your head at. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Next question for tonight. We're doing good. So everybody, what has been the effects of the idea of relationships during this whole Black Lives Matter and the things that we're facing right now as a country, when it comes to racism and all of that? Like, what has been the effects in you guys' relationships or your idea of what relationships should be in the midst of something like this? And I guess go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, what are like the needs you will want from somebody that you are in a relationship with, a marriage, a partnership, just dating. Like, what are the needs you want from them during times like this and Black Lives Matter and just fighting for our rights? Literally, not a civil rights movement, but girl, this is like civil rights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to take away from what they did. They did major things back then, but in this time, like in the things that you are actually learning from your partner as well during this time. So it's like a two-part. Like, what are your ideas during times like this in relationships? So I'll start with you because you're married.
So I would say, I think this is why it's so important to not only for your whole family dynamic, but it's so important to have someone who's equally yoked.
Yes, ma'am.
That y'all are on the same page when it comes. Again, it's great to have differences because those differences bring out, they help the other person grow, in those areas. But for the most part, y'all need to be equally yoked, especially for times like these. I could not imagine having my husband feel or not have the same kind of anger or sense of pride or sense of I need to do. I couldn't imagine that. I just couldn't. So I'm glad that I have someone who understands where I'm coming from, and I understand his trials, his tribulations, what he's up against in this country, and I understand that what I need to be for him. You know what I'm saying? What I can contribute and what I need to be for him in order to uplift him. Because our Black kings need us. Period. They need us,
ma'am.
So,
go ahead.
It would just be different.
It would
be different if I didn't have him. It would be different if I didn't have that. So I definitely feel like during this time, I feel like it's important for us to make sure that the person that you're dealing with or trying to deal with or thinking about getting with is equally yoked and understands that and shares the same views you have in basic human rights, period. Yeah. Because you can have friends and you can have relationships where y'all have differences of opinion. Okay? I have friendships where I don't agree in what you did. I don't understand what your thought process here and all this stuff. But when it comes to basic human rights, either we agree or you over there, and it is what it is. Yes. And I think that should apply in your relationship as well. Like, y'all should be equally understand how important it is for you to take action. Everybody needs to be taking action right now, period. Yeah. To be able to move this forward and try to get, make the change that, Dr. King and Malcolm X tried to accomplish. They tried to accomplish this, and now it's our turn to keep it moving and to take it even further than they got it.
Yeah, to our next level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're more than capable of doing it. We're just not.
I think we are. I mean, not to the extreme yet as them. Now we are. We haven't been as a collective for a while. And I have to go back to saying, I think at one point our parents thought that this thing was over. Mm-hmm. Like, I think our parents kind of like slowed up and they didn't impart that to us, like telling us like, you have to fight for this and fight for that, right? I think we kind of just over the years have just experienced things and thinking, okay, it's not as bad as back then, but forgetting that we have to continue to fight.
Yes, we have to continue.
And our parents, because our parents was like the first generation after so much, you know what I mean? And it was just like a breather for them. And I think when we come in, when we came in, it was and came into the height, the beginning of the millennial, the end of the beginning, or whatever it's called, the beginning of the millennial. I don't think we were raised to do all of that, even though we was facing it. I personally didn't see no marches. The only thing I saw my mom do and be a part of was the Million Man March. I seen her be a part of a lot of political things. So I say all that to say, I don't think it was stress enough for us to make major change, because I think at one point we would just, maybe, this is my opinion, maybe just grateful we wasn't as it was, you know, as it wasn't back then.
Yeah.
But not realizing if we don't fix it while we're in it now, it's going to get worse. For our generation, we see this worse. To them, they're like, our ancestors is like, you guys probably cool, but to us, this is like our worst. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what happened with IG. It just cut me off. I have no idea what happened.
I don't know. I heard of something and then it so I don't know either. Okay. But hey, that is technology sometimes. Okay, you can't control everything.
Yes. Okay. So
but yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I get it. I understand. I think that we're just capable of so much more, and I'm really hoping that this movement wakes a lot of us up into the things that we really should be focused on, the things that we can really make real change in, and the things that we should be paying more attention to, and put more of our effort and time doing. You know, I think I will touch on some things with another topic later on, but I'll go more into that. But I so don't want us to go backwards. I so want us to keep this going and make sure that we don't stop until we get what we doggone deserve, period.
And I just think everybody has to understand that this is going to be a real, true fight, and it's going to be a consistent thing. It's not going to be a thing that's going to happen in a month. And like you said, we just cannot continue to pull back on momentum, even after November. You know what I mean? So I think now, of course, everybody is gearing up for now and also for November. But after November, we still have to push. I don't care who comes in that White House. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's continuing to still switch and change agendas and policies.
And making sure that we're being heard.
Exactly.
And our needs and the things that matter to our community are being heard.
Right. We're logging back on to IG. People, give us 1 second. I'm so sorry. We were talking about, for IG, we was talking about the effects of Black Lives Matter and everything that we're facing right now within your relationships.
Yeah.
So SHAYLA talked about the point of being in a marriage and how it was very important, how it is very important for her husband to share the same ideas. So for me being single and learning how I would want my relationships to be moving forward, if I start dating, I would want somebody to be, like you said, equally yoked when it comes to knowing we have to make change.
Yeah.
I can't date nobody who's talking about my vote doesn't matter. Like, I don't have time for that. Like, that's not somebody. we're
so
right there tells me everything about you. If you think you're in that situation to where you feel like your vote doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Like, we cannot talk. Like, how can I communicate with you? Like, we're just on a whole different spectrum. If you feel like you everything that you do ain't gonna be nothing. Like as if you can't contribute at all.
Yeah.
If you say, you know what, this is not my issue. I'm not gonna be worried about this. Like this is too stressful. I'm not worried about this. This tells me you want to be worried about a lot of stuff outside of race. This tells me that
you're simply for self and you don't really care what happens.
Yeah. And that's selfish. Extremely. Who wants a selfish partner, dater, courter? Don't be courting me and you selfish. Like I don't have the time. I'm telling you that right now. You don't want to vote and you feel like anything you say or do ain't gonna be nothing. No, you are not that worthless. You know what I mean? Like, so for me within relationship, you have to know you have a voice. You have to know that God gave you a purpose, even in the midst of this in some type of way, some type of form or fashion. Mm-hmm. You gotta find that. Maybe it ain't like everybody else, but you gotta find what you think you can contribute. It doesn't have to mimic anybody. You don't have to sit here and be no follower, but you need to find you have to find what you can do easily and effectively. I don't care if it's just making calls or helping people with signs. You have to find something. So
yeah. But you are, and another point I want to make when it comes to relationships, you have to have someone who's pushing you, who won't let you let up, who won't let you give up, who won't let you, won't let the negativity that you're trying to avoid overcome you so much where you just shut the whole situation out and you don't want to deal with nothing. Like, I don't want to be a part of nothing. I'm not going to nothing. I'm not going to contribute to nothing. I'm not going to sign no petition. I don't want to do nothing because it's just too much for me. You have to have someone who's willing, who understands that I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that. And I definitely have that at home. So I mean, I just think it's so important for you to, again, have someone who's equally yoked, who shares the same basic human rights that you have. Again, we're always going to differ on some things, but those things that really mean something to you, you can't alter them.
Yeah. So that's how I feel within a relationship. Let's go ahead and move on to Black Lives Matter. And of course, our fight and the ideas on dating within our race and the things surrounding dating and being a part of outside our race.
Okay.
Right? So we want you guys to chime in on that. Like when you're dating somebody outside your race, what are like the wake-up calls that has happened between now and up until now. And then if you're dating within your race or married within your race, what are like some of the wake-up calls that you have realized that you didn't realize before? I guess in so many words. And equally yoked on, I have at least a little bullet points, equally yoked on ideas on change, or are they separate? Like, what have you guys realized? I guess should be the question. What have you realized in your relationships, whether it's in or out, or wanting to?
I'm not even gonna say realized. I would say, if anything, it is confirmed how I've always felt like when I was younger, I've always said, I'm going to have a black man. I'm going to date a black man. I'm going to marry a black man. I'm going to black children. That's always been me. And I think it only confirmed, like situations like this only confirm why I feel like, we as, I don't like speaking for everybody, but I'm just going to say it. We as Black people should definitely make sure that we are procreating, having families with each other, because I feel like no other race can truly understand what you've gone through. Like, how am I supposed to explain to my children during times like this what we've gone through, and then sit here and what your daddy, who may be another race, what he gonna do other than sit there and just be like, listen to mommy, like, because I can't relate, and I wasn't there, and I haven't been through that, and I don't know, and like, I don't know, like, for me, it's like I need the strength on both sides. I need someone beside me who truly understands the plight and understands what we've gone through as people, and can, I feel like, build my children up to be strong people who know their culture, understand their culture, understand what it means and is to be Black and be proud about being Black. And I just don't know how another race honestly could teach them that. And I think that's always been my thing. So I think it only just confirmed that for me. I've never been one who ever thought, like, I'm one who I believe that you can love who you love. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you happen to fall in love with this person, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I where my problem lies is when you start making the choice that your own isn't good enough, so you go looking elsewhere. I think that would be my issue, you know. So I'm not saying to anybody who may be, you know, married to someone of another race, I'm not saying that, you know, that you made a bad decision or anything like that. I'm saying that when I only have an issue in that regard when you feel like your own or your mama and your daddy or whoever was Black, you know, that had you wasn't good enough, so you chose something else. That's when I have an issue. But other than that, that would be my reason. So I think it only confirmed that for me.
Okay. I guess for me, because I have not got, you know, don't have my husband yet, so I don't know who he's going to be. You know, do I want a Black man? Absolutely. Do I feel that love is love and it doesn't matter where it comes from? Absolutely. I believe in that as well. Mm-hmm. For people like Serena Williams and Tika Sumpter, for them to have a white man, right? And I'm gonna just go with Serena Williams real quickly, only because I've heard her husband speak up, and I didn't really go to Tika's page to see her husband, what he has to say. But just to see Serena Williams' husband kind of say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not Black. However, I do have a Black daughter. What am I going to be able to tell her what I did? You know what I mean? For him to take a stance the way he had to take his own, it wasn't him following no trend. It was just like, this is what I can do. I don't know the conversations that they had at home. If he said, talk to mommy because I don't understand this whole thing was going, you know what I mean? I don't know. But what I can say, if a man is willing to learn about me, if he loves me, and he has said, you know what, if he's not Black, and he has said, you know what, I love this Black woman. My job as her husband is to not only just learn her as a woman, which is my wife. My job is to understand her as much as I can to the point where I'm supporting her, whatever it is. And on top of that, I'm learning for myself. Because this is how I feel. I feel that having an interracial marriage is literally like being in America. And I feel like if your husband can get to the point of understanding, of course he may not face the things if he was a Black man, but if he could get to the point to understand, that's exactly how we would want other people outside to understand as well. That's the only way things are going to change, right? If other races get to understand and get rid of the racism situation within their blood and their body. And his job, if I would want his job to be, is to work on his influence, his white influence, which is his family, his friends, his co-workers, people outside, him to stand up, voice out, and be a supporter of the Black Lives Movement. Like, I feel like then he has a greater responsibility, if not equally responsibility, if he was Black. Because that's my husband, and you are the father of my kids. So I need you to, and you may not get it right away because you just don't know. But you've been with me, so you kind of, you know what's good. You know what I mean? You know what's up. You know, so for me, I just feel like if he's open to learning, man, that's all that matters. If he is like, I have to figure this thing out, I have to support my woman, like, I'm good with that. And again, do I want a Black man? Absolutely. But I understand how this world is going. People can love you the way and you know how I am with what I'm about to say.
Yes, I know.
People can love you the way God has intended them to love you, and you guys come together and make a bigger impact just because you are interracial. What about, you know what I mean? Like, what can birth out of that for me, I'm open to. Because maybe we are an example to show other interracial couples. So I'm open to not being equally yoked in color and race, but we got to be equally yoked and with the things that we believe in and be willing to learn from each other. You know what I mean? Like, what can I pick up from him that can help me do something within a community, or maybe talk to some Karens and switch some Karens around. You know what I mean? Turn Karen into Cariana and have her be on our side.
Not Cariana. Not Cariana. Lord Jesus.
If we could get some Karens to turn into Carianas, girl, them other regular Karens, they're going to get out the way, honey. We have some real soldier Karens on our end. I'm telling you, the regular Karens ain't going to stand a chance with our Carianas. I'm telling you.
Cariana.
Yeah.
You know I'm gonna use that on the street. You know that.
So shout out to the future Carianas out there, is the white women who ain't racist but would stand up to a Karen and tell her all by herself. So shout out to y'all. Whatever y'all at, we need y'all to stand up.
Carry on. Where Cariana at?
Where our Carianas at?
Yeah, where Carianas at? That's what y'all had said. Oh,
we need to recruit some Carianas to stand up to these Karens. But no, that's basically how I feel. You want to go ahead and read some comments?
Yeah. Okay. Bugsy Laveau. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
Oh, what's up, Bugs?
On the first date, you gotta ask, what have you done for the Black Lives Matter movement from the jump? It looks like
what have you done for us lately?
Exactly there. What have you done for us lately? Okay. Let's see. Mr. No Days Off 80. What's up? If he want to truly understand, Serena needs to take him to Compton, where she from, and get back to her roots. All right. Again, if she is being the wife that she's supposed to be, then hopefully she has helped him to understand, even if he hasn't experienced it, because again, he does now have a Black daughter.
Girl, look at Terrence is nice. Talking about bust it down, Cariana.
I want to see you bust it down. You know what?
No, for real. Y'all think about this though. Can you imagine a white woman who is the mentality of the regular Karen is the opposite? And she would stand up into the regular Karen and be like, Karen, girl, please shut up. Can you imagine? That's like, even though it may look like white on white crime, but can you imagine our Karens telling a regular Karen, they're like, chill out, girl, that'd be so powerful, honey. I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to see it.
So again, when y'all see him, if y'all see him out in the street, or y'all see him on IG, y'all
they haven't showed
Cariana's that, okay? Because
they haven't showed a Cariana versus a Karen yet, and I'm waiting to see that trend. I'm ready to see that go viral.
I am too. Now
I want to see one say, girl, just be quiet. You're so racist. You need to go back to 1920. You know, I don't know what they're going to say to each other, but I'm just hoping for that miracle.
You should, yeah. I was about to say something, but I'm going to leave that alone. Okay.
Leave it alone.
I'm going to leave it alone. Go ahead.
So any other things that came in, we're good?
No, we're good.
Okay. So if you guys have any other points, go ahead and put them in a scroll, and we'll go ahead and scroll up and get to them. We are also, you guys, if you don't know, we're also on YouTube, so you get to have the side-by-side view versus the up and down view. And it is Brains and Beauty. Oh, I don't even have a pen down there. I thought I had the pen, but that was the last live. But it's Brains and Beauty ×2 on YouTube. So next question for tonight is what are you guys' future goals that you want to see from this movement and what we are going through? Like, what are you looking forward to? Like, what do you want to see happen? What do you want to see happen of all this? And I'm gonna just start because first, before we even get into what we want to see happen, I want to see justice for, of course, George Floyd all the way to the end, with them being in prison, not jail, in prison. I want to see justice for Ahmaud. That has to be done and completed. Have these guys in prison I want to see justice for Breonna. Have them fired, in prison, because I don't know what they got going on with that right now. Every day is something with this.
It's every day, yeah.
It's not going fast enough as it should be. And then for me, I want to see police being held accountably, quickly and faster and expeditiously as soon as it happens. Like, I want to see that happen. You know what I mean? Like, they need to be held accountable quicker. I want to see the police defunded, and I want to see the money transferred in many different ways. Or, as Cap best friend just said today, he said, if the nation defunds the police in every state, city, it would be more than enough money to give us our reparations. And I thought that was an amazing idea.
Terrence is nice. Just asked that. Are we getting any closer to reparations?
Yeah. So for what is his name? Eric Reed. Eric Reed said that. So that was a good one. We have, hold on, let me get to this and we'll go to the comments. I have like two more. I want the Karens to be held accountable if there was a death or a murder or a jail coming from out of her phone call. You know what I mean? I want her to be held accountable, just not because of her just being fired. It needs to be some type of something.
Yeah.
Some type of misdemeanor, felony, like something. And if it goes into the extreme, a felony, like, you got to stop that. Like, what is wrong with you? But anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. I want to see policy changes on the whole scale of things. And I want to continue seeing the racist heroes removed from these statues and areas and enslavement being praised. I want that to be gone. I understand it's part of the history. Like, I have a friend who told me when they went to Boston, they get to Boston, they trying to like sightsee and get food and try this and try that. They couldn't even, they was bombarded with the slaves and the slave this and the slave that. And this is where the slaves had stood. And this is the person who did the slavery and brought them over here and sold them. I get that it's part of history, but they gotta, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, not praise it as much. Like, not make it something.
Not praise it at all.
Yeah, like, just not praise it. It's one thing to history. Yes, our ancestors were sitting right here. Can you imagine them sitting right here, chained on a stage, being sold? And shoot, like I said, some of our ancestors was already here. Some of Black people was already here. Some people were shipped over, but some of us was already here. Some people's families were already here. But those who did get shipped over, because I don't know my back history like that. I don't know if my people was already here or not. But to sit here and praise slavery, man, I'm just over that. Take the statues down. My high school was my Andrew Jackson, and I know he was a part of a lot of junk. And I don't know if they want to change the name of the school. I don't know, but praising statues, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. For me. For me.
All right,
what about you, girl? I just went on. Girl, that's a whole list. I done went down a whole list. Go ahead.
Okay, so I would say
and an NFL bag, but go ahead.
Oh,
recap. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, we'll start there since you done already said it. Definitely, we need Cap back. Like, Cap, give Cap his job back. Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Jermes. I don't know, but thank you for that. Give Cap his job back and a public apology. Okay.
Yeah.
A well-deserved apology, because he needs that apology. And he doesn't need it, but he should get it.
Yeah.
I definitely want, after this movement, as a result of this movement, I definitely want us as a people just to remain together like we've been as of late, and to really make sure that we're continuing to stand together and to really have each other's backs. I definitely want the police to be, to defund the police. I definitely think that's necessary. And again, like you said, yes, if you can come up with money within a month or two for this quarantine and all that, there's ways for you to come up with money for our reparations. Okay.
Amen.
So we're just I need my reparations. Thanks. Anywho, So yeah, that I also think that it's very important that for police period, that there should be certain guidelines. Like, you don't just put anybody in the NFL, you just don't let anybody in the NBA, you just don't let anybody on the dream team, you don't let anybody on to the Olympics. It should be the same way with the police. We're not just letting anybody in. When you get certain things, you know, when you have certain merits or certain things on your report, like, oh, you've had 17 cases of just taking your job too far or whatever the thing, you should be fired. Period. There should be none of that. You should have the best of the best on your force. People who truly understand what their role is, that understand that yes, you uphold the law, but you're not above it. Let's not get it twisted, because at this point, that's exactly what they think. They're above the law. And they don't have to listen to the law. You know, the law doesn't apply to them. So I definitely think that we should make sure that there are certain, and I think that they did have a lot of those ideas on Obama.org. I don't know if anybody heard his whole, he got like a group of people together, and they had a big conversation on where we should go from here, action steps. And I definitely think that I think it was 8 action steps, I believe, that really would help. That to diminish, I wouldn't even say completely stop, but it would definitely diminish drastically these kind of incidences, the George Floyd instances and Breonna Taylor and all of that. It would diminish them from happening. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if police understood that there's going to be real repercussions for your actions, you can't just get away with stuff. You don't just go home and write a report and you come back to work today and everything is cool. It's that the days of that is dead. If they understood that, they would be much more careful about the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? You would be more mindful not to do certain things, like put your whole body weight on somebody's neck. You wouldn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you just wouldn't. That's just, anyway. Yeah. Not saying people are not still, you know, racist or evil and all that kind of, it doesn't mean that things would never happen, but it would diminish it. I definitely think that I just hope that we just make better decisions when it comes to voting, that more people get involved with voting, that it no longer becomes an option. It's what you do. It's like living and breathe. It's like breathing air every day. You gonna vote. When it's time to vote, you voting. And you're making sure that you're actually doing your research. And that's another thing. I really want and hope that people start doing their research on people who are running in these offices, and that you understand who has power and influence to do what, who appoints who to what positions. You know what I'm saying? What is it that these positions actually do, and how do they make influence in the things that affect our communities? Like, we really need to start understanding that and understanding our rights. Period. Yeah. I think a lot of us truly just don't understand
the rights.
What our rights are. Just down to the basic stuff, you know? So
yeah, I like that.
I'm praying all of that happens.
I know, man. It's
our God is a good God, child. I know it will happen eventually. I'm praying that I'm alive to see it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, it's gonna be a fight, and it's gonna be a journey. It's gonna take everybody to continue and to keep holding each other up. And I think too, outside of people becoming more inclined to go out and vote and support voting and educating themselves about voting, I think too, we got to start thinking about, for those who can and want to be a part of those being elected, become an official, become on the police force.
Thank you.
Go into politics if you really have the push for it. Does it take a lot? Yes, but I think we need to start educating our youth too on that they can become inside, you know, like they could become mayors, they could become governors, they could become city councilmen. It's like, I think we have to be a part of the ballot.
Thank you.
Because we can only vote what's on the ballot. We can only vote for what's on the ballot.
Yes.
So I think that's another thing we have to change moving forward, including the rest of America, to catch up who are racist. Because it's like, you can't even, I heard my pastor say this, and it just made sense the way he said it. And it's a common sense thing. It's just the way he said it. He said you cannot oh God, I just lost the word. You cannot, Angela, come on now. Basically, you cannot govern morals. You cannot put a law. Oh, you cannot legislate morals. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. You cannot legislate it, because if somebody is a racist, you can have all the stuff in the world, but if their heart ain't right, like all these rules and stuff just ain't. It doesn't even matter to those.
It doesn't apply.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's when prayer has to step in and say, God, only you can change hearts. You know how many hearts God has changed in the Bible, and just in real life, even after the Bible, how many people have just changed their minds and hearts on things overnight. So I believe in that. I believe in the power of prayer to change hearts and change racism, and have them have some type of something that happens to them, and they wake up and say, you know what? Dang, I was wrong. And their heart gets so hardened on it to where they have to change it. Like, that's my belief and that's my faith.
Amen.
Because some of that stuff you cannot legislate it. Like, you cannot. Yeah. So the rest of it is in God's hands, honestly, and people's personal decision to want to not be hateful and stupid and idiotic. Overall,
that's a great takeaway, though. That's a great takeaway. We definitely should start making sure that we start teaching our youth about these positions, like that. You don't just have to be a singer and all this kind of stuff. That's the popular thing to do. Let's start wondering, what can you accomplish? What can you run a city? Can you be a mayor? Can you be a governor? Can you be a state attorney? Can you be a lawyer?
Girl, yes.
All these things that truly have power.
Yes. And you can be. You just got to learn how to be, and what does it take to become that. Exactly. Simple. I heard somebody else say too, who was this? I forgot where I heard this from. But anyway, it was told that who did I hear this from? I want to make sure I credit this person, but I can't remember where I heard it from. But anyway, it takes X amount of hours to become a brain surgeon, right? Mm-hmm. One day you're in school and you're not even worrying about how to actually do the physical surgery, but it takes you 10, 12 years to figure that out. And then one day you actually have to do the exercise to do brain surgery. So it shows that we can, if we learn things and we educate ourselves and stuff, we can become anything. It's the root of education. It's the root of teaching yourself and wanting to have a better outcome. So if somebody wants to be a governor, or somebody wants to be a VP, you can't be president like that. But if you want to be a mayor, if you want to be a city councilman, if you want to be state attorney, it starts to understanding what that takes.
What it takes, yeah.
And you can get there. The people involved, knowing the decisions that you can make and just make a better change for the people. So if people can become heart surgeons, girl, in 10 years, you could become whatever you want to be. Brain surgeons, shoot, heart surgeons too. That's a job as well. Like, that's an intricate. Dentist, from reading a book to drilling in your mouth, like, that takes educating yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think we just need to educate ourselves even more and more and more to become so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. Honey.
So our last topic for tonight, which is a real good one. Okay. This is a good one. Which celebs stances have you guys agreed and disagreed with? For the people in the back, which celebrities stance so far right now in Black Lives Matter and the things that we're facing? I got to burp so bad. That you have agreed with and also disagreed. So that basically says you agree with somebody and you also disagree with somebody. So you want to start?
When it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, I think a couple of celebs have hit the mark, and I think a couple of them have dropped the ball. And not saying that they are bad people, but just saying that they definitely did not think before they spoke.
Okay, so let's start with those people. What's up, Freddie? So
I'm gonna say people that I agreed with. I definitely agreed with Killer Mike. I so enjoy listening to him talk. He gets it, and I truly like his phrase was that we need to plot. I'm just gonna, because I didn't want to mess it up. Plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. Like that should be what we're doing right now. We should not just be out here willy-nilly, just out here protesting and destroying property and all that kind of stuff. And we're not doing anything. One on top of it, harming ourselves, and then on top of it, we have no plan. There is no plan. There's no backup. We have no safe havens. We have nothing, because we're just acting off of reaction. Yeah. And though I understand we're angry and I understand that we're upset, we need to focus that anger into something productive that will actually do good. You understand what I'm saying? So I really enjoy listening to him I've heard him speak on a couple of platforms recently. And so I really agree with him and where he stands and what we should be doing right now. And let's see who I disagree with.
Who have you disagreed with during this time?
I'm just gonna say one person, because I know it's been an issue, and I know in this house my husband has listened to it numerous times, and it's Drew Brees. Again, from what I understand, I didn't know too much about him prior to this.
Okay.
Other than the team that he plays for, but I just from listening to my husband, like, I understand that he's made an impact in New Orleans, especially after Katrina, and they people really did look up to him. But the things that he said when they asked him about this movement, and he kind of turned it into something personal about his grandfather, and basically completely showed no lacked sympathy. He just lacked sympathy, and his entire statement just lacked sympathy.
Okay.
I think that is true to what a lot of other races truly feel. And especially, and that's just an example of Cap. People being upset because he took a knee, not because he was trying to disrespect the country or America, but him just trying to show silently. He wasn't being loud about it. He wasn't being, he just took a knee. That's it. And that was after someone told him the best option in respect of the flag, instead of just not being out there at all, is to simply take a knee. Okay, that's what someone told him to do, and that's what he did, and he got all this slack for it. So just trying to bring awareness to the issues that's going on with us in this country. So just in that alone, I just think that people need to truly, especially when you are going to start talking about all lives matter and all the other kind of foolishness, like, duh. Okay, one, let's just get out of the duh. So we definitely need to start making sure that we think, and that you all start thinking and showing and putting yourself in other people's shoes and Black people's shoes, and understanding where we're coming from, and understanding and showing sympathy for what we're going through, and how unfair and unjust that it is. It's just not right. Because you wouldn't want it for your own family. You wouldn't want it for your children, your brother, sister, nobody, friends, none of that. So I was really disappointed in his statement, but I was glad again that he did recant and say that he thought about it, and he spoke to people, and he's been doing his research, and he's going to. I just want to see. I think now the talking and saying you understand is no longer acceptable. Now we have to see that you understand. It needs to show in your actions. Don't just throw money at it because we know you have it. Don't just throw money at it. Let's see you actually show that you understand with your actions from now on. And so I think there'll be eyes on him from now on for this.
Yeah, for sure, because he has teammates that are Black, and one of his main teammates just kind of went off.
Oh yeah, they let him have it. So you messed up. You messed up. Those are people that you go to war with on the field. Like, you messed up. So I really, really hope that this is a learning experience for him. And I'm not gonna knock him out completely. I want to see where he goes with this from here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think for me, what celebrities that I have agreed with was what they've been talking about, and which celebrities I have been disagreeing with. I have to I have to honestly say this, right?
Okay.
and this is like me being like, for real. Like, I feel like all of these celebrities, man, who have huge platforms, right? Huge communities, huge followers to listen to what they
influence.
do. Influence, thank you. These celebrities who have huge influence, man. I hate to say this, but I just feel like they're not doing enough. And I mean, not all of them, but
ones that you feel that you would have expected more from.
Like there's so many athletes. There's so many people in hip hop. There's so many people. I'm talking about within our community. There's, of course, I want white artists and white athletes and all of those people who are not white, just any other race, to be a part of the movement, right? But for our people, man, like collectively, if you take all of our celebrities and you put all of our celebrities' follower count, we will win over Trump any day, right? We will win over whoever if they are using their platform in better ways.
Yeah.
Like if you mess up and you say something, right? And you come back and you apologize. Like Drew Brees has apologized. I know Trina has apologized. I know what's her name in Jacksonville? Oh God, I feel terrible. I forgot her name. In Jacksonville, she's a rapper too. And she had to apologize. There's a lot of people who said some things that they didn't feel good about afterwards. My thing is, as long as you have the change to back it up and you are willing to, because everybody do make mistakes and everybody do. My thing is, what are you gonna do after, right? Like, what can you do and use your platform to really make change, right? So for me, I would love to see Trina, even though Trina does have her own day here. She does a lot of stuff here in Miami, and she did. You know, my girl, she went a little left. But I know she was so angry and about other stuff. And the way I know how I talk, and I know the way, and it's not no excuse for her. I know when I get very mad, I will fumble over my words. And I will say some stuff just going like it ain't no filter. Not an excuse for her to go the way she went, but at the same time, now I would love to see Trina like run the city. I want her to be involved in everything we have going on locally. I want her to bring the mayors out. I want her to bring the councilmen and women out. I want her to be there front and center, leading this thing, and we'll be right behind her, supporting her, making sure that we back up in votes the way she would push. You know what I mean? I guess my mind right now is really locally about all our artists here and all of our celebrities here and all of our celeb athletes that are here. Like I want to see everybody who is like Miami, like stand up for Miami this election and moving forward past this.
Yeah,
I want to see them. I want to see Trina. I want to see Trick. I want to see Rick Ross. I want to see Luke. I want to see where Cali has moved, but everybody who is a staple here in Miami, I want them to come together. Like Ross just did a march in Miramar, but I want to see them come together because our celebrities, our artists, our athletes are now as big as the Martin Luther Kings.
Yeah.
And I mean influence wise, right? And they joke and say, y'all just rappers and y'all just athletes and y'all just this and y'all just that. We have such a huge influence over people, not even over people, but in front of people, right? So I may not have agreed with a lot of celebrities, but I can only speak for my celebrities in my city. And I cannot wait to see Trina like take off when it comes to leading a lot of these conversations, when we want to hear from the mayors and everybody here. I want her to be Miss Miami. You know what I mean? Like I'm Miss Miami, but I want her to be Trina, and that's what she does. I want her to use her voice in that way. I want her to be right there rallying up these people, talking to these cops, because our cops, even though some of them are crooked, but they be open more to talk to our celebrities in our community. You know what I mean? They can start the conversations. So I think we just have to use our influence as Black people, which our culture is dominant right now. Yeah. And if that's what we have, if God has blessed our celebrities, our Black celebrities, our Black athletes, our Black artists, nationally, we should be killing it in everything as a collective people. God has given us that. So that's what he has given us and blessed y'all with. Please just use it.
Yeah.
Just use it.
Okay.
In a dope way. So, yeah, all of that together. all of that. Drew Brees is always Drew Brees, child. The NFL, I want them to just get over it and just say, okay, we was wrong. You know what I mean? It's a lot of other celebrities who just whatever, but I just want our athletes and our people to use that platform.
Yeah.
Like to use it. Jordan has done Jordan pledging $100 million. You know, Kanye doing his thing as well. Like money wise, I just think now we need some real people on the floor. And yes, the organizations that we sit here and support, they can do it, but it's nothing like having an influence from LeBron James.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It ain't nothing like coming down here and having a police held meeting with Trina Ross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pitbull. Like, these people have been given these platforms, and I just want them to really use it to the T. And we only thing we can do is just forgive people. Like, people are forgiving Drew Brees because he's stepping up. Of course, the city has forgiven Trina, knowing that she, I just want her to step up and just like kill it, like show everybody like, yes, I'm Trina from Miami, and yes, that's why I have a day. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to do that. Like, I'm ready to support. So that's that, girl.
I love it. You get some good points. Okay, so let's see, the Jacia said, honestly, it shouldn't have to take this for people to step up. They were asleep the whole time. You know what? But we can't give them a pass just because you were asleep. Okay.
Yeah.
You have when you have influence and the kinds of influence now that people, back in the day didn't really, you had influence, but you didn't have the kind of reach that you have now. When you have the reach that you have now, and you were blessed enough to be able to have that kind of influence, it's necessary for times like these. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you have to use it.
This is when you should be using your influence.
Exactly.
If you're only using your influence for the betterment of you, then what's the purpose? What are we doing this for?
Yeah, like, what are we doing? Honestly,
what are you doing this for? Like,
that's the easy route.
So, yeah,
you know what I mean?
We can't make it easy and simple for people to just be like, well, I ain't been doing it, so I ain't gonna change it up now. No. We gotta hold people who have our influence and accountable. We have to hold them accountable, because if we don't, then who is going to?
Yeah, unless again it just be grassroots, but it's just like God has given y'all these platforms. Like, do it. Y'all are the modern day for the next generation, the Malcolm X's and stuff.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is, right? It's a reality. Let's be for real. Even corporations go to these celebrities and make deals with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's our reality right now in the 2000s, is that our celebrities are the Malcolm X's, and they can be. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, they don't have. It doesn't matter. They have a platform and they use it right. They can make a change.
Steph
Curry, you know what I mean? Like Steph Curry, LeBron James, and so many other people can come together. I bet you and guarantee they'll push some stuff. It ain't gonna just take them. It's gonna take all of us who to educate ourselves, and do the same thing that they cannot do. But no, you got a platform. You have to use it.
But it will get it started. Amen.
Yeah, it'll get pushed further into rooms that a grassroots agency probably can't get in for a year.
Yeah.
So that's all we have for tonight, people.
All right,
and I hope
so
it
we
was a
know we
bomb
was.
conversation.
I think it was a great conversation, and I'm so glad that so many people joined in and came in and stopped by and listened and made sure that they commented. Again, y'all do not forget to make sure that you are following, liking, and subscribing to all of our platforms. Whether you're on a podcast, whether you're on our YouTube or our Facebook or our Instagram, it doesn't matter. Make sure that you hit them all them buttons. Just boop, 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 boop. Just go down the line and hit them. We thank y'all for joining the conversation. We pray that you are out here doing whatever you can personally
Amen.
to make the change, because it starts with you. And
yes, it does.
If there's nothing else to say, and she know how to end it on out, close it on out, boo.
Before I close it out, let me add on real quick what Shay said. Don't get me wrong. I want our celebrities to do a lot of stuff, and I want our people of influence to do a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't want us to be waiting for them either.
Good. Amen.
We want to be there to support them because they have the platform to push the agendas. Mm-hmm. But I want to make sure we continue to understand that we still have to educate our own selves and do our part without that person.
That part.
There was definitely small groups outside of Martin Luther King and outside of Malcolm X and outside of all of these great men back then and women.
Yep.
That did not get the highlight, but they were still doing work. You know what I mean? So
and they helped move the cause.
Yes, they helped move the causes that was not highlighted as big as that. You know what I mean? So I just want people to realize we're not just gonna wait. We want to influence the influencers to get busy, but let's still continue to do what we can do on our end, no matter what, like we talked about in the beginning of the show. We talked about what we was doing. So I want people to just remember that, like, just don't be sitting back waiting for nobody. No. But to close this thing out, as we always do every Wednesday, to go up on the podcast the next day, honey. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, America. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll see you guys and talk to you guys next week.
Bye. Love y'all. Bye.
Adios, amigos. Oh, let me end it here on YouTube. Good night, YouTube.